Hi, this is Susan with Brown Dog Consulting, and welcome to this policy governance walkthrough. Do you have to write a monitoring report for a board of directors that's using the policy governance system? If so, this video is just for you. I'm going to walk you through the simple steps of writing a monitoring report, and in this case, it's on an executive limitations policy on emergency executive succession. The first step is simply to copy and paste the board policy language that you're monitoring and put that at the top of your report. The second step is the interpretation. Now, because the CEO or executive director is being held accountable for achieving any reasonable interpretation of board policy, the board needs to know, what is the interpretation? This is something that should get developed as soon as the policy goes into effect, and not just at the time you have to write the report. It's also important to note that the interpretation is not simply taking the board's language and putting it into your own words, and it's also not listing all the activities and things you're doing in order to achieve compliance with the policy. The meat of your interpretation comes down to what I refer to as observable conditions. In other words, what should one be able to see or to be able to observe because you're being in compliance with this policy? So start off your interpretation with indicating whether it's been changed or unchanged since the last report was submitted. And in this case, I have just a little bit of a preamble to outline some terms, to describe some terms. Then go with this phrase, compliance with this policy will be achieved when, and list your observable conditions, really thinking through what one should be able to see. This is where the policy becomes measurable. And if you need help developing your observable conditions, I'll show you at the end of this video how to get in touch with me for a free consultation. At the end of your interpretation, try to include a rationale showing the board why this interpretation is reasonable. Try to refer to some outside source, some experts, some polling data, some set of best practices or standards that help to back up your interpretation and show why it's reasonable. Then we get to the evidence portion of the report, and for this section I always advise clients to line up each one of their observable conditions with data points or evidence showing how they have actually activated or achieved compliance with this observable condition. This way the board can easily see the alignment between what has actually happened and what your interpretation of the policy is, which then links right back to what the policy says. Then we wrap up the report with a compliance statement, either reporting compliance, partial compliance, or non-compliance with this policy. And definitely in the case of non-compliance, if you have to do that, then indicate to the board when you expect you will be in compliance with this policy. Give it a signature and you're done. Now, if you have any questions or need help with your monitoring reports, go to my website, which is www.browndogconsulting.com. Click on the free consultation button, and there you will see an easy way to set up a meeting right with me and just check off the times that you think you would like to meet with me, and I'll get back to you and we'll talk. So this has been a policy governance walkthrough with Susan of Brown Dog Consulting. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to sharing more with you again soon. Bye-bye.